The following presentation is brought to you by American Legion Post 416, Greendale, Wisconsin. Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW Post 10, 519, Greendale, Wisconsin. Disabled American Veterans, DAV Chapter 19, West Allis, Wisconsin. Machinery and Welder Corporation, West Allis, Wisconsin. And by viewers like you.
From the global resources of Veterans Media Services. This is Veterans Newsline with Dave Ryba.
Welcome to this edition of Veterans Newsline. This is Memorial Day 2014, and we are in downtown Milwaukee at the War Memorial for the 149th consecutive Memorial Day Parade, honoring our veterans and the memory of all those who have served. We're going to be taking a little peek at the Veterans Parade today. We're going to be talking to a few of the participants in the parade as they go by. And then we are going to attend a wreath-laying ceremony after the parade here at the War Memorial. But to begin with, we're going to talk a little bit with the parade organizer, one of the parade organizers, I might say, and by the name of Karen Stiles Armstrong. Here's my interview. All right, joining me now is Karen Stiles Armstrong, and she is the event organizer for the 149th consecutive Memorial Day parade for veterans here, which we're about to see. And Karen, to begin with, give us a little background on the parade. Boy, it's been going on for a long time, and it's quite a family affair out here.
It sure is. Our family has been doing this, my mother and my father. My brother lined up the divisions for the last 35 years. Before my father had passed away, I promised him that I would never let this parade ever die. So for the last 4 years, I have picked up that torch, and my brother and I, we carry on that tradition.
Boy, that's really great, and I hope that goes on for another 149 or 150 years as well. This is super. And then immediately following the parade, we're going to see a wreath ceremony, which is hosted by Joe Campbell. And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this year, as in the past, we have each branch of service that is represented by a wreath. That wreath is laid in the water over there by the Never-Ending Flame. And this year we also have Lance Syjon, and his sister will be here on behalf of him as a fallen soldier of the Air Force to lay a wreath. So we are very honored for that.
All right, so without any further ado, I give you, at least in part, the 149th consecutive Memorial Day Parade.
I think that the very best way to memorialize those who have given the ultimate price is to make sure that those soldiers who have stepped into their places get all the services that they need and deserve when they return home. That they have decent health care, housing, employment opportunities, and don't have to wait 300 days to get their applications processed.
I just want to thank all the men and women who've made the great sacrifices for this country to give us the liberty and freedom that we have. And we know that thousands and tens of thousands of people gave up their life to secure our freedom. And I want to thank each one of them and their families.
Well, if they're here today, or they're home and they're watching, they know today is the day we honor everyone who's given their lives. We remember what they did it for. And that's the principles and the freedom of this country. Never forget.
I want to tell them I'm just pleased as punch that all these people turned out for this. The start of the summer, what a way to start the summer, but a Memorial Day parade. Americans love parades.
Boy, that was a great peek at the parade, and next time you're in town, you're in Milwaukee, hopefully you'll be coming next year or the year after that. This is a regular thing. You won't want to miss this outstanding parade. And now, let's head to the back of the War Memorial and take a look at a really nice ceremony honoring the memory of our veterans.
The microphone isn't working, so I have to use my Army voice. And the Marines! Yeah! You know, we all know why we're here, so I don't have to tell you. But what an honor it is to remember those that have given so much, the ultimate of their life, for us to be here in the freedom that we have. We have freedom to do good, and unfortunately, we have freedom to do evil. But we strive for good. And today, what I would like to point out is a bunch of numbers. But not one of these numbers is one by itself. It's a mother, it's a father, sister, brother, aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, friends, neighbors. In the First World War, 116,516 paid the ultimate sacrifice. Are there any World War II vets with us here? Please raise or stand, raise your hand. World War II vets? Look, we got some over there. You know, I used to think that the Vietnam vet had the greatest generation. We were the Burger King generation. Have it your way. But I'll tell you what, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the men and women who fought and gave their lives for us to be free to speak English and to love one another. Thank you, World War II vets. 405,399 gave their lives. Missing in action, this table. Prisoner of war, missing in action. To this day, there are still 30,313 missing. Our Korean brothers, the chosen, the war, it was over in 2 years. How many Korean War vets do we have here? I know we have a lot. Please. And for that applause, they know they are not forgotten. 33,741 paid the ultimate sacrifice. Missing at this table is 5,127. Vietnam, the war they wished we could forget. Not anymore. We fought. We died, we lived and did what we could for our country's calling. Good, bad, or indifferent, political, non-political, we did what we were asked to do, and we did a damn good job of it. And while we may suffer from that war, the one thing we guarantee is never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. And for that, we hold the highest esteem our Iraqi and Afghanistan veterans. It is so good to see them come home to the love and care. And we know they're struggling, but let them know that we're here for them and with them. Yeah. We are brothers in arms. And in that Vietnam War, 58,229 paid the ultimate sacrifice. Missing 2,489. And at this point, I would like to reintroduce our parade leader, Janine Saijan Rosina, if you would kindly stand up. Janine's representing all the POWs, all the MLAs, and our wonderful brother, Lance Peter Saijan, who paid the ultimate price in a prison cell in North Vietnam. If you ever want to read a story of courage, And if you're ever having a bad day, read Lance Syjan. He fought to the very, very end, giving name, rank, serial number, and date of birth. And that was it. God bless you, Virginie, and God bless Lance, and all of them who are here with us today. To my Iraqi vets, where are you, brothers, sisters, brothers and sisters? Boy, oh boy, they're all volunteers. I forgot to tell you, in Vietnam, we went because we were told to go. And if we were going to jail, we got an opportunity to go to Vietnam. And most of them took it. Oh boy, they wish they did. But in that terrible war, there's over 4,450 that gave the ultimate sacrifice. And I believe there's still one missing, which is one too many. Afghanistan vets, come on. So shy, so humble. I don't know if I need this now, but as long as I got it. Your war is not over, and we know that. And I want you to know that we do have an understanding of what it's like to be in war. But the other thing we have is an understanding of what to find in peace and in tranquility. At the end of the worst movie I've ever seen, Platoon. But at the end of the movie, I heard the best thing that I could have ever heard. And I share that with you all now. You may recall, if you've seen the movie, Charlie Sheen, whoever he was in the movie, I don't know. But he's flying up in a helicopter and there's a talkover. And it said something like this: "The war is over for me now, but it will always be there for the rest of my days." Those of us that made it have an obligation to build again, and more importantly, teach others what we know, and then try with what's left of our life to find a goodness and meaning to this life. And at the end of the movie of Saving Private Ryan, one of the best movies I've ever seen, and it really wasn't a movie, it was life. But you may recall when Captain, I can't think of his name, Tom Hanks, the actor, was dying on the bridge. And Private Ryan came to him knowing that he was dying and told Private Ryan, "Earn this." And at the end of the movie, Private Ryan is at the cemetery in Europe over the captain's grave, and he kneels down, and his wife comes up, touches him on the shoulder, and he turns and looks to her and said, "Please tell me I've lived a good life." And he did. And us veterans are doing our damnedest to live a good life. And we can't thank our mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers in putting up with the crap that you've had to deal with us with. And I know it's crap. But for most of you, you hung in there with us. And we truly are grateful. And when we tell you leave us alone, and I don't want to talk about it. That's not what we mean. Because sometimes we just don't know how to say it or do it. But we're sure going to give it our damnedest. And thank you all for supporting us. And please forgive me, Afghanistan, to date, 1,425. And I understand there are too many missing. So that's my tribute. That's our tribute. And I hope the news media gets that word out. I have no problem. Matter of fact, I'm delighted that you have cookouts. I'm delighted that Steinhoffels is having the Memorial Day sale of the century. And we got all these things going on, and burgers and brats. That's what freedom is. That is what we fought for. And now, I would like to call on this very solemn moment as we provide a wreath-laying ceremony for all of our brothers and sisters who paid the ultimate sacrifice during the wars and after the wars. And so I'd like to call attention and call the honor guard, if they would post behind the respective wreaths, and then we will introduce you by branch of service and name. I'd like to call from the United States Army, our Veteran of the Year, Medic in Vietnam, Bill Borowski. Bill, if you would kindly post the wreath to the pond. Representing United States Air Force and their dearly beloved brother Lance will place a wreath to the reflection pond.
And God said, "Who shall we send?" I answered, "I am here, send me." And God said, "Can you hear me now?" No. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Go ahead, you can talk loud.
I'm going to say it one more time. And God said, "Who shall we send?" I answered, "I am here, send me." For all of those who have answered that call, past and present, and future, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. We all thank you. We thank you for all the freedoms that you have allowed us to experience, and to all the families that support you all. From the deepest part of my heart, I love you so very, very much. Thank you.
Representing the United States Marine Corps, Vietnam veteran Ray Pesrick.
States Navy, Catherine, Maryland.
Unlock. Left, right, face. Ready. Aim. Fire. Ready. Aim. Fire. Ready. Aim. Fire. Left, face. Freeze it. Arms.
All right, folks, it looks like we had a little bit of a technical difficulty here at today's event with the audio, but I think it came across very well. And boy, that Joe Campbell is a very powerful and moving speaker. Well, that's it for this edition of Veterans Newsline. Thank you for joining us, and join us again next time for more veterans news and events from southeastern Wisconsin. Until next time, thanks for watching.